Left foot, right foot, levitate.
But if you come to a school in this county armed, we're going to do our best through either our guardians, our school resource officers, or our school resource deputy sheriffs to eliminate the threat outside of the school before they ever get to the children. We're trained to do that. Now, if you have trouble understanding that, let me give it to you in Polk County vernacular. This is the last thing you'll see before we put a bullet through your head if you're trying to hurt our children. We're going to shoot you graveyard dead if you come onto a campus with a gun, threatening our children or shooting at us. Now, quite frankly, here's the deal. We're going to charge directly to the threat. There's no mustering, there's no gathering up. We go individually to the threat and engage it. That's what we train for. Why do we train like that? If they're shooting at us, they're not shooting at the children. Now, we don't want to be shot either, but given the choice of being shot and killed on the ground or those children dying, we'll die every time. When you turn your children over to us at the schools, they are our children all day long. And that's how we respond. That's how our training responds. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, an hour until they engage the shooter, that is absolutely unequivocally unacceptable.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money.
Your boss is not your friend. Your company is not your family. Don't get emotional about your job. Your boss not care about you. Your boss is only caring about making the money. When you are sick and your boss is saying, get well soon, he is saying this because he wants you to get well so you can come back and do the work to make the money. When your boss is asking, how are you? He is not asking because he actually cares. It is merely a formality. When you are sick in the bed, then he is asking, how are you feeling? What is actually going through his mind is, this asshole is laying in the bed costing me the money. When will he be coming back to the work to make the money? When your mother dies and you are taking the time off to mourn and your boss is saying, let me know if there's anything I can do. What he's actually saying is, let me know what I can do to help you cry faster so that you can come back to work and make me the money. Whenever you are taking the time off to rest, recover or mourn, you are an inconvenience to your boss. And no matter how much hard work you have done and how much ass you have kissed, when it is no longer profitable to employ you, they will fire you. So don't give your heart and soul to a place that don't give a fuck about you. Focus on what is important in life and don't forget to have fun.
The United States is leading the way. We provided Ukraine with nearly $7 billion in security assistance since I took office. The next few days, we intend to announce more than $800 million more, including new advanced Western air defense systems for Ukraine, more artillery and ammunition, counter battery radars, additional ammunition for the HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems we've already given Ukraine.
truth, and I'm a social scientist, and that's what I do.
But you just said the truth is transphobic.
That you would say, that if you're saying the truth is that I get to say, you're not a man, show me your genitalia, that's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean someone can make a statement about themselves that could be untrue. Like, for example, if I were to say that I'm a black man, would you accept that, or would you be skeptical?
Are you black? Are you African American? Are you biracial?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't look that, and I don't think it doesn't sound like that's a genuine statement of who you are.
Okay, so that's my point. I could make a statement about who I am that's incorrect.
Of course, I think it's well established that human beings can lie, yes.
Or not even lie. I mean, I could just be mistaken.
Yeah.
I guess this all comes back, this all comes down to really one question. Especially women, gender, and sexuality studies. So what is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question is?
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
A lot of like this, where you're not answering, and I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it, and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
How have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies, which is the work that I do.
You wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now, where a woman is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you're seeking what we would call in my field of work an essentialist definition of gender. I think it sounds like you would like me to give you a set of biological or cultural characteristics that are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
Yeah, and I gave you one.
This guy.
What do you think about her response to what a woman is?
I think I am a woman. I just decided to come on InfoWars to do it. I've decided to come out as a woman because how I look obviously has no bearing on the fact of what gender I am.
So what are your pronouns then for the next 2 hours?
King and Lord. I'm going to stick with King and Lord.
All right.
My appearance has nothing to do. So, I mean, when I was thinking of transitioning, I thought I had to look like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out I don't. I can keep my shaved head and my beard because if you assume I'm a man for those reasons, you're a bigot.
Right.
Also, I thought I'd